Hello, my beautiful co-creators. Lilou here. Today I'm with Auntie Mahealani on Big Island in beautiful Hawaii, and it's such a delight to be spending this moment with you. Oh. Thank you.
Mahalo. Mahalo nui loa. Thank you so much for having us here.
This is wonderful. As you guys know, this is the GC Living Tour, 12 months tour, meeting extraordinary people, really ordinary people living extraordinary lives. I feel that this is all accessible to us now, and you're bringing that in our world now. You're bringing the Hawaiian spirit, the spirituality that is quite different from other type of spiritualities. And I would love to hear from you and start this interview to know what is exactly the Hawaiian spirituality.
Well, many people know it as the aloha spirit. The aloha spirit. And the aloha spirit was so engineered, I call it engineered by our kupunas, our ancestors. And our Hawaiian language has very few words to begin with. The expression of spirit is really in the words to begin with. So the kupunas, the ancestors, understood this a lot. They knew that power in the words is the energies that create one's reality, you know. So because of that, they engineered our language to have very few words, because they figured out you don't need a whole lot of words except words like aloha. Aloha means love. Yeah. So besides meaning, hi, how are you? Have a great day, it does mean love. So when people first come to our islands, that's the first word they hear. And even though they don't understand the depth of it, or that spirit and spirituality of it, matters not. Just the fact that they're hearing it, and it's part of their vibration, even for a few minutes, or even for as long as their vacation. Yeah, even that. So it is about the aloha spirit. And it's alive and well, by the way. Today, it's alive and well. You'll hear it even on, say, our news channels, for instance. They're always, they're always speaking about the aloha spirit, you know, and how we're able to express that spirit of love every moment. My grandfather used to say, manavaiki e manavaiki. And that means to express love moment by moment. And love is really what spirituality is really all about, you know?
And that's what you learned from your ancestor, and now this is what you're transmitting to people all around the world, including Ho'oponopono.
Yes. Ho'oponopono Ke Ala is the ancient form or ancient teachings of making right more right. Pono means right, or the rightness thereof. And pono, ho'oponopono, making right more right. So the premise is that you come into the world already in the light. Already in the brightness, you know? And so as long as you have this vibrational energy and you have ancestors, as I have, kupunas, the elders, that help you to embrace the teachings of Ho'oponopono Ke Ala, which really means making right more right, the path, then you're able to place those teachings in an expression at an everyday level.
So that is to say that everything that is here right now on this earth, there's nothing wrong. It's all as it's supposed to be then, to start with.
Bingo. Exactly so. Yes. And the expression for that would be ikaponomea. Ikaponomea means right place, right time, right being. That all things are in its divinity. Everything. As a matter of fact, my grandfather used to say that this honua, this earth, this planet, was so designed for love, for the excellence, for the divineness, And that the only time that we would change that reality, if you will, is when we think to change it. So his words were, no think. Stay with the aloha. Stay with that vibration of love. Carry it forward, and you do it moment by moment. That's how you stay in the spirituality. That's how you stay in the oneness. That's how you stay Pono, in the excellence.
So how then, when something comes up, some things do come up though in our life that would you say might need healing or forgiving?
You know, it's interesting. When people think in terms of healing, then they seek to be healed. I think you know what I'm going to say. Rather than recognize that at the moment of thought, they can choose to be healed or not. The reality is based on energy.
Everything is energy for Hawaiians.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And we express that energy, you know. I mean, our land, our Aina, are beautiful. Look at where we are. I mean,
Paradise.
Yeah. I mean, it already gives you that feeling that you're in heaven. That you're in heaven. And there's not too much that you need to do except to enjoy it. To just really enjoy it. And my grandfather used to say, you know, it's transportable. The aloha. You can take it from here. You have the memory of it. So therefore, you've locked into the vibrational energy of it. So therefore, you can take it everywhere else. Everywhere else. You know, it's like creating your world within the world. I mean, chaos can go on all around you, you know. And if you choose to engage in that, so be it.
Yeah. And I hear that quite a lot because it's, you know, people see me traveling and meeting all the amazing teachers and being here in Hawaii, and they might be in a city and have a sense of struggling.
Yeah.
But then we create that struggle, we create that reality. Hawaii energy can be brought to ourselves if we want to. We're sitting here today in the beautiful kingdom of heaven. It's literally called here the kingdom of heaven. But we can create that anywhere we are.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it does help to, say, land here in Hawaii. It does help to at least spend, you know, a day or two, or, you know, if you're fortunate enough and if you have chosen to stay a little bit longer, to, you know, just get into the reality of this heaven. So that, you know, according to some of my students, they say, you know, Auntie, we come here from Australia, Japan, Europe, wherever, and we come here to lock into the mana.
Mana?
The mana.
Can you explain us the mana?
Yeah. Mana is one's heart and mind feeling running in the same track. That's what I call mana. Mana is that powerful energy of both heart and mind running in the same track.
So it's the best possible scenario, really.
It's absolutely wonderful. And like I said, it also helps, you know, to come here and to feel the mana, you know, be a part of it too, and then take it back with you. I mean, I've had students tell me, you know, when I go back home to Chicago, I'm at least real good with this mana for at least 6 months. And that's like beautiful, because prior to that, they never felt that. You know what I mean? So that's really important. And so they go back and they feel this sense of heaven, this energy, for at least 6 months, you know? And then it's time to come back, which I think is a great way to do it, you know. Go there for about 6 months and then come back. Choose it. Choose your reality.
Yes. So tell us about is there a technique, some tools to practice Ho'oponopono? Because we hear I forgive you, sorry, I love you. Or is this not? Yeah, there's different. This is not how you teach it.
No, no. Ho'oponopono Ke Ala, the difference is, and when people go onto my website, of course, www.alohaspiritauntie, they really get the history about the two different, and they are different, the two different teachings. Ho'oponopono Ke Ala, that which comes through the lineage of my ohana, my father, my grandfather, my family, is the Hawaiian teachings of spirituality that was here in place, say, grandfather used to say about 242 AD. So we're talking quite a ways back. And especially a lot of that teachings was in place until about 1299 AD. Okay, and then the influences of, say, the Tahitian ways and then the European and missionaries and all of that changed the landscape here in Hawaii. It didn't take away, per se, the aloha spirit. It's still here, heaven on earth. But it did change the dynamics a little. And then, of course, having the other ho'oponopono, which is one word, okay, and that, when that came out, I will say that came through my Auntie Simeona, who is my auntie on my mother's side. I've never met her, but she was brave enough, or I should say courageous enough, back in the day, back in the 40s, to bring this teachings out. However, it got changed a bit when what I refer to as letterheads, PhDs, etc., nothing against them, okay, but that they added more of a Western model to it.
So give us the real essence of it.
The real essence is, it's not about forgiveness, truly. It's about acceptance. It's about accepting your spirit greatness. It's about accepting that you are uhane nui. And as a spirit greatness, you are already blessed and in the light. And so your kiakahi, or your job on the planet, if you will, is to express that light and love. That's what the aloha spirit is all about, The healing part, the I'm sorry bit, and all of that, again, I say, that's more of a Western type model. It wasn't within our Hawaiian purity of the spirituality. Because the Hawaiian purity of the spirituality comes through love. So if you've already got the love, why do you need the forgiveness? I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet sometimes we're reminded when we meet others that there is something else. So what do we do in that moment?
When we accept the fact that there might be some dynamic lesser than love, my advice is, go find someone who only believes in love. Truly. And who's only willing to accept love for all things. Because that vibrational energy will carry itself and others in the stream of consciousness that we are all meant to be a part of. Yeah. It's not about anything less. It's not about anything less than love. It's all about love. I see you. It's love.
I love it. And there is the light that comes in, and there is magic that can be created.
Absolutely.
Do you see magic? Do you have examples of things that you have witnessed in your life that truly, through love, have blown your heart truly open?
Oh my God, my last class blew my heart truly open. I did a class on Oahu that was so in the excellence, and it was a class by a woman, I will have to say this, a woman who was in my class in February, and she wanted to be in the class in June. She didn't make it to my class physically because she changed address 6 days before the start of my class in June. change address means she went to spirit 6 days before the start of June of the classes. But she wanted so much to be in the class, and she really made sure that her friends and her husband was in the class, you know. And when she changed address suddenly of a brain hemorrhage, okay, she still came to the class. Talk about being blown away. My program didn't happen because Vicky came in, and with my ancestors who run the class, okay, I'm just the body that shows up, right? Vicky and the ancestors ran that class. And half of the class who knew Vicky, and including her husband who was there, said that the things that I was saying is how Vicky said things. The way that my mannerism and everything, it was how Vicky does things. That, as experienced as I am spiritually, that blew me away. That blew me away. That was the class that I had on Oahu.
Wow.
You need to attend.
Yes. When is next one?
Next month, actually.
So how can we connect to this spirit world, the ancestor? How can we do this? Because there's so much resources and help that we have there, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's as I mentioned, just speaking from personally, from my own experiences and coming into the classes and the teachings with me, they can find out about it through my website. Absolutely. I love the fact that people can get in touch with people through websites and connections like that. Yeah. And then to come into the class and the tools that are there. As I mentioned real quick earlier, I really am the facilitator. Okay? Officially, prior to my birth, my grandfather knew of my coming, which is how it is with people at least people in our, culture. It's not unusual. And so he was waiting for me to come. And when I did, he, deciphered the messages that my mother received, and he named me. And he said that I am my purpose, my kiakahi, while on this planet at this time, is Kumu ilele o na kupuna. Kumu ilele o na kupuna means teacher, messenger for the ancestors. Yeah. Yeah. You don't just find that in any book. No, that is rites of passage, if you will. That's the difference also between the teachings that I bring to the table.
Yeah. Is there some kind of prophecies that Hawaiian have about what, or some sayings about what's happening now, or what's about to happen?
Yes, absolutely. All this so-called, we have a name for it. It's called pilikia. And pilikia, even that sounds like something great to eat. But pilikia means trauma and drama. Yeah, it means trauma and drama. So the predictions of the fact that what we're going through as a global society, and all the different changes that are coming in are so meant to be. They're so meant to be. We've all lived many, many lifetimes, and so we've come to this point, as some people have deemed it, as the shift. The shift in society, the shift in, world resources, etc., the shift in the planet. Oh, yes, all of that was definitely predicted as part of the evolution. That's the word for it today, of course, is evolution. Well, according to my grandfather, we evolve because it is the kiakahi. In Hawaiian, kiakahi means it is the purpose It is the purpose. So, Pono Ke Ala, it is the perfect purpose. And all of these changes are a part of making that evolvement happen. We need to be involved in order to evolve, according to the ancient ones. Mm-hmm. And it's so true. This is why all of this is happening. So we can continue to be involved and evolve, but without, how shall we say, without losing the sense of values that we have as human and spirit beings.
Tell us about Hawaiian's relationship to nature also, because this is something that we seem to have lost, really, and this shift is very much so about that.
Yes, it is. It's very much about nature. Well, you know, my grandfather used to say when I was little, and I would ask him different questions about, for instance, down by the ocean side, you know, I would point to a fish and I would say, wow, Grandpa, look, the fish is swimming. And he'd look at me and he said, mm-hmm. And the kiakahi for ia, meaning the purpose of the fish. And I would look at that and I would say, to grow so we can eat it? He would kind of chuckle at me and he said, not everything is for eat. He would say, no, but look, Nana, then ike, look at it, you know. And I would say, oh, and then he'd say, fish swim. I would go, oh, hele aka au. And he would say, yes, fish swimming. I would say, ah. And he'd say, fish swim because fish swim. Manu, elele, birds fly because birds fly. I'd see that and I'd go, And he'd say, oh, see, plants grow. And I would say, ah. By this time I caught on. And I'd say, plants grow because they grow. And he would say, it's as simple as that. That is your lesson on all that is of nature.
And so it is for human beings too. Exactly. We are who we are.
Exactly. Because we are. Mm-hmm. Because we are. And those of us who have, say, evolved to that center of being and value to where we know we are precious human and spiritual beings. We are because we are. Because we've evolved.
Tell us about the smiling law.
Oh, kanawai mo aka. Someone told you about that. The smiling law. Kanawai mo aka is what I refer to as, say, you know, when the book came out of The Secret? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All of my students everywhere, from Japan, you know, Australia, everywhere, they were sending me emails and saying, Auntie, you're right. The world is finally caught up. They're doing kanawai mo aka. Only they call it The Secret, you know? And I said, that's true. Kanawai mo aka is an ancient law, ancient Hawaiian law that means it is the law of attraction and manifestation. So for us, it wasn't the secret. It was a part of our culture. And it was a part of our spirituality and our understanding that the universe is here to serve us. Yeah. That's the only reason why we have the universe. I mean, without us, no need universe. Mm-hmm. You think?
So we're creating our reality through your thoughts again, as we were saying earlier.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, we are. And kanawai mo aka literally means the smiling law, because for us, we always knew that the universe says yes. Always.
Isn't this juicy, my beautiful co-creators?
That's why we're here. You and I, we created this moment.
We all created this.
Kanawai moaka. It's the smiling law of the universe. Yeah.
Is there another part of the Hawaiian teaching that you would like to share with us that we haven't talked about that is important?
Ika pono mea. Ika pono mea was my grandfather's answer to everything. You know, he believed that when a child questions an adult, you know, that child should be answered in the very best way possible. Because he would say, one day, that child grow up and take care of you. So you must always, if you want leadership, then you must take care of the children. You must, you know. So for me, I was what we call a niele child. A niele child is one who is curious. And one, if you say no to a niele child, that niele child is going to find the yes. So you can imagine when I was growing up. Anyway, yeah, so ika pono mea was my grandfather's way of answering questions. You know, every time I would ask him a question about why this, why that, all those things that he could answer, he would answer in the why this, why that. However, there were times that, you know, and I didn't catch on to this until later on, but he would say, oh, that's ika pono mea, you know. Ika pono mea means all things are in right place, right time, right being. There is a purpose for everything. There is a divinity for everything. So no matter what the question was, he would always say, it's ika pono mea. It's always about the rightness of everything. Always.
And finally, mahalo. We hear a lot of mahalos. Is it the same than aloha?
Yes. In actuality, mahalo is a more modern word in our Hawaiian language. Aloha was the word that sufficed for everything. For everything, you know, the gratitude, you know, which is mahalo. Mahalo does mean the gratitude. Yeah, and gratefulness and being thankful, you know. Every morning, you know, my alakai and I and those in my family, we're always saying, oh, mahalo, mahalo. It's a constant thing because of that energy that it carries, you know, to be in gratefulness rather than the other one. Yeah, rather than not. Yeah.
Even for what seems negative. Especially, yeah.
And then again, when you look at negativity, really, what is negativity but perhaps just another hidden message for one to learn by? You know, it's just, it's not really a negative, but it's just another juicy learning.
Do you have a last little juicy message for everybody watching?
Yeah. Always know that the light is on, and just in case you forget to put the light on, be sure to put it on. And in my grandfather's words, do know that we're all in the same canoe. Aloha.
Mahalo, mahalo, my beautiful co-creators. This was so juicy. Well, much love from Big Island, Hawaii, and soon in Kauai now. Bye.